After 7 to 8 weeks of no rain, the mushrooms are finally starting to pop. We actually got some rain 3 days ago. They're coming out. If you're interested, stick around. Bam, right there. Look at that beautiful flush of chicken of the woods popping out. It has been a long 8 weeks. I mean, it's just been rough. This is beautiful though. Check it out. Look at this guy. That's a large flush. Very pretty. Latoporus sulphureus. That's what this guy is. Obviously with the, the sulfur color, the yellow sulfur color. That's where it gets its name from, but beautiful though. Look at that. Look how it's growing. I mean, it's just kind of pulling up, going straight up in the air. Very cool though. It looks like I'm gonna have to harvest some of this. I don't see, it doesn't appear to be buggy. The temperatures have dropped, which has made it nice. It's been a little cooler now, and we actually got some rain. So I'm gonna harvest this guy and see if we can't find some more. Cool. Okay, but before I do that, I actually want to show you this tree. I mean, you can see looks like it's just dying, but I don't know if you can see way up there, but I mean, it still has its leaves. So this tree still is partially alive, which leads me to, is this a saprophytic mushroom or parasitic? How is it acting? Well, I mean, right here, we can really see some massive deterioration going on behind this bark right here. I would say this is probably acting in a saprophytic manner, but it's really hard to tell unless the tree is just, looks to be 100% alive. It's going to be really hard to tell. But anyway, I just thought that was cool. We will probably go ahead and harvest some of this. All right, I don't think I'm gonna take this whole thing, but I'm gonna get in here and try to cut out most of the margin here. Very nice. How pretty that is. Awesome. A little bit of that in there. Just come in and get the outside margin. All right. Oh yeah, good stuff. Let's see here, some of these younger ones. That's real soft, real nice. This is the part we want to eat anyway, so, as you get further back into this mushroom, back in here, it gets real chitiny, real tough, real hard to chew. You certainly don't want to harvest that. This is what we're looking for. We're looking for that young stuff, and this is perfect. All right, there's a few more right in here. Just get that outer part. This one's growing a little bizarre. It's kind of growing straight up. Let's get that in right here. See, take that little piece. There's a few more up here at the top. Now, if you have the rain to support it, a lot of times if you just trim out the margins, if you just take off the margins just like that much, this will continue to grow. It's been my experience though, without the rain, it's really just going to shrivel up and die. So it's got to have the rain to support it. And Lord knows we have not had that much rain. It rained literally 3 days ago, which is why these guys are popping out right now. I've seen several flushes. So I thought I'd get into the woods and see if I couldn't take advantage of it. Also, I'm looking for hens right now. It's perfect time of year. Haven't seen any yet. Anyway, let's continue with this. All right. You know what? I think that'll probably do it. And you can really see I didn't take that much off this mushroom. Left it. We're gonna let it continue to try to grow it, do its thing, maybe drop some spores. Very cool though. Very beautiful. Just awesome. Okay, here is another flush of chicken. And it's another good size too. Nice and young. Look at that beautiful orange. How pretty is that? Man, look at that. And this is a white oak, I believe. Yeah. Very cool. Awesome. This oak looks to be alive. It's got all its foliage up there. Obviously we've got a little rot going on right here, so hard to say how this mushroom is acting. Probably a saprophytic, probably not parasitic, but it could be. So it's really hard to say. You know, anytime I find them in a saprophytic manner, it's really and you're, 100% sure, is when the tree is definitely on the ground. There's no foliage, it's obviously decaying, decomposing, and that mushroom is doing its job. It's breaking it down as a saprophytic mushroom. These guys can act as a parasite and attack these trees and help kill them. So it's hard to say when they're still up and there's still greenery on there, how it's acting. But either way, it's still cool. All right, so let's go ahead and harvest some of this guy. Super young and look good here. Let's get this. A nice piece. Look at that. How moist it is. Check that out. Awesome. Let's get in here and get a little more of this right here. A little far back on that one, tell with the cutting of the knife, but still very beautiful. Let's go ahead and get some of these little young ones right off. Let's go ahead and take that right on off. Nice. Look at those little guys. Awesome. And I think that'll do. I'll let the bottom go ahead and do its thing. We got plenty of mushroom here, so sweet. All right. There is another large flush. Of course, this one looks a little bit older. Actually quite a bit older. See if I can get over there to it. It's a little high. Let's see. Oh, it's still moist though, real moist to the touch. Color's a little different. This could be quite good. Might have to harvest some of this. Okay, I just harvested this right here, and after further examination, I'm not going to take any more. This is actually old. It's just wet from the last rain that we had. So if I flip it over, you can really see how it's faded. Now, this is some that I just harvested a little while ago, right? And you can really see the difference in the color. So obviously this is the one we would want to eat right here. Nice and fresh. Look at the vibrant colors in it. This one here, not so much. Little older, so I think I'll pass on this one, but still cool. And you can see right there where I cut that little bit off, but this is clearly an older flush. Upon closer examination, I mean, obviously we can see right here where this is just old and dried out, where it had flushed out at first, but still very cool. All right, so I'm gonna keep looking. I'm really looking for hen of the woods. It is that time of year, and it is my favorite mushroom, but obviously I'm nothing but chicken so far. Let's keep looking. Beautiful oak that is, look at that. You would think there'd be a maitake around here somewhere, but I got nothing. I'll just keep looking. I spotted over here from a distance a huge orange flare, but the closer I get, the more it's becoming apparent that these are jack-o'-lanterns, but it is a massive flush. All right, check these guys out. That's a heck of a flush. Got some young ones popping out right here. Look at that. A ton of them. There's even some way over there. Wow. Over here. Look at these guys. Beautiful mushroom though. Look at all of them. They're just scattered throughout the place. Something else. That's awesome. That's so awesome. How beautiful is that? Wow. All right, so I had to take a break, but I thought I'd sit here by this old elm. It's fallen down. If you look, I mean, it's hating it. But more important, let me show you this. Right there is a young flush of dryad saddle starting to pop out. Young, real young. I don't harvest them when they're quite this small. I like for them to be, I don't know, right around in there. So I'm gonna let this guy go, but still super cool, and something that I should note only in the sense that, you know, next year I might want to check this location for morels because, you know, this giant elm tree here obviously is dead, and this would be a great location for it. Cool, so let's continue to look for hen of the woods. Okay, so we didn't find hen of the woods, but we did find some chicken of the woods. And for those of you who are new to the channel, I'd really kind of want to go over how really I think you should cook this for the first time. Basically, I think you really just need to do a simple saute. Don't do anything fancy with it. Let's, you know, a little garlic, maybe a little butter, and that's about it. Let's find out what it actually tastes like before we, you know, start getting all clever with it and trying to come up with new recipes and casseroles and things of that nature. Okay, so to clean this, all you're gonna do is take a basting brush. You're just gonna knock off any dirt and debris. You wanna dry brush this. You absolutely do not want to get this mushroom wet. At least that's the way I've always done it. Keep it nice and dry and just knock off that dirt and debris and you're good to go. After that, we're gonna melt a little butter, and then while that butter's melting, we'll cut up some garlic, get that going, and you're ready to put the mushrooms in. So just go ahead and place them in there, saute it for roughly, I don't know, I would say 4 or 5 minutes. Make sure you cook it all the way through. The last thing you want to do is eat, you know, raw wild mushrooms. That's certainly not something smart, because look, some wild mushrooms, even though they're edible, when they're raw, they're actually toxic. So you need to cook them all the way through. We want to burn off any toxicities. Now, I'm not implying that chicken of the woods has that, but it's just a good practice to get into when it comes to wild mushrooms. You definitely want to cook your mushrooms all the way through. We don't want anyone getting sick. All right, so let's try a little bit of this. It's really good, really good. And it's super easy, simple. Get home, knock it out in no time. Ah, it's a wonderful mushroom. Love the way this stuff tastes. Love it. Now, let's spice it up a little bit. So while your butter is melting, go ahead and slice up the mushroom. And what you're trying to do is really put it in quarters, eighths, somewhere in there. Just be consistent with it so it'll cook evenly. And at that point too, you can also go ahead, if you identify any areas where it might have a little more chitin in it, you can go ahead and cut that out. And then at that point, we just go ahead and add the mushrooms to the garlic and butter, and then add your favorite seasoning. Now the seasoning I like to use is really this stuff right here. It's called chicken shit. And they are not affiliated with this channel at all. This is just what I do. It really adds to that chickeny flavor. It actually brings out a chickeny flavor to it. Chicken of the woods, it doesn't necessarily taste like chicken. I mean, it does a little bit. I think it has a lot more to do with the texture of the mushroom, which is where it gets its name from. Let me just show you this. Look right here. It really has that chicken breast texture to it. See how it just pulls apart? It's real stringy, kind of like chicken breast is. But I really believe that's where it gets its name from. It's not so much the taste, although it does have a little flair to it. But so once you add the seasoning on there, then just let that go for roughly, I don't know, I would say anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, somewhere in there, depending on how many mushrooms you've got. And just make sure you cook it all the way through. It is really good stuff. Let's give it a try. Man, that's awesome. All right, really, with that seasoning on there, it really does taste a lot more like chicken. So at that point, then you could add it to things like a casserole or um, or to another dish, or maybe even fry it at that point. But you certainly want to add some flavoring to it. Otherwise, it's really going to be kind of bland. And by the way, I appreciate you spending your time with me. I really do. Please don't forget to subscribe. Slap that like button around just a little bit. I'll talk to you.